moment, maybe with your eyes closed, to bring an intention to your practice today. A word or phrase, bringing some quality or state of being into your life a little bit more. Mine for the last, I think, 5 months has been open-hearted presence. So it just keeps staying with me. So I'm focusing on that. You can say it to yourself a few times as you breathe. And then bringing your hands down by your sides, spreading your fingers wide. We'll start to find some movement. Filling up, and feel that energy in your hands. You might feel tingling or some kind of buzzing. You might even feel your heartbeat. And just expanding them wide like this. Notice if there's any other sensations in your hands, like temperature or any pain or just that stretching feeling. And then we'll start to work into our shoulders, slowly finding movement to notice how your shoulders are feeling today. And you can bring in some quicker movement with that, bending your elbows. Maybe full arm extensions if that feels good. And sometimes one side is okay with it and the other isn't, so honor that. You can always kind of do this halfway if you're working around some pain or an injury or anything. And then we'll go the other direction, so shoulders forward, alternating. And maybe bringing the elbows up into it. And bigger arm movements, if that's right for you, feeling that swimming motion. Pushing your hands forward as you reach a little bit more each time. Good. And then bring your hands down beside you, shake them out, and we'll do 2 shoulders or both shoulders at the same time, up, back, and down. So really reaching in every direction. You get those elbows up into it as if you're rowing a boat. And you can take this faster or slower, as always, than I am. So going at your pace, and then we'll reverse it. So bringing your shoulders forward, down, back, and up. Forward. Good. Again, maybe getting those elbows up. And rowing that boat the other direction. Good. And then just let your hands come down, swing them back and forth a few times, shaking them out. And we're going to slow down this swing, making it bigger and bigger, and starting to make it very intentional, reaching all the way up. And remember, if this angle isn't good for your shoulders, you could try a different angle, a little bit more out to the side or closer in, or doing it with bent elbows. So getting that big motion, trying to get both arms working equally, as long as there's no pain. Really reaching up and then reaching back. And I'm leaning my torso forward as I reach back. I'm feeling that in my triceps and on the back side of my body. Good. And then come back to center. Same kind of movements, just exploring first. We're moving them out to the side and down. So you could also use those elbows up and down, and a little bit bigger each time if possible. So either elbows are moving up and down, or you're using your whole arm up and down. Maybe all the way up and all the way down. Good. I'm feeling that in my shoulders a lot. They're getting tired. This is good strengthening and mobility. One more time. Good. Shake them out. Notice your heartbeat. You could even put your hand on your heart or up on your neck to feel your heartbeat, or if you like doing it on your wrist. Notice that your heartbeat's probably working a little bit more now, which is great. And if you did bring blocks, then we'll do 2 blocks at first. Again, you don't have to have blocks, so we'll start working through the toes, feet, and ankles. And starting by lifting just your toes up and spreading them out like we did last time. And then relaxing them, just getting a little bit of mobility into your toes and seeing if you can see your toes, looking down, trying to equal out what they're doing on each side. And then lifting them up and place just your big toe down if you can, or at least try. Remember, you can visualize it too. And then lifting all your toes up. Now place just your little baby toe down, your pinky toe. Feeling into that on each side. Lift all your toes up. Place just your big toe down, and then see if you can get just your pinky and your big toe down at the same time, but those 3 middle toes will be lifted. And see how that's feeling, what's going on. Relax fully, and then make sure your heels are planted if you're on the blocks, that your heels are connected, and you'll lift your whole foot except for your heels up, and then place them back down. We'll do this several times, working into those shins, important muscles on the front side of our leg that help us when we're walking, and especially stepping up onto things. There's a muscle I learned in between our tibia and fibula, and I bet Chad will know what the name of this is, but I learned that it's kind of acts as a spring for our feet. And so we want to keep all strengthened and strong. So this time, you can keep lifting and lowering, or just see if you can lift and hold for a moment and sit nice and tall. And then lower them down. Let's do that again. And this time when you lower down, go really slow, like we do with the somatic shoulder shrugs and heel raises, but this time doing it with our toes up. And then very slowly let your toes come down. And notice if there's any jerky, jumpy, shaky spots as you do that. And then lift your feet, your toes and feet up. So my heels are on the blocks. And then slowly let them down. I'm not going very far. It's interesting because for some reason my left foot was more shaky when I did that. And then go ahead, we'll do that 2 more times. So lift your toes up, feet up, heels planted, and slowly let them down. You can always do 1 foot at a time. You can always watch and see if both feet are doing the same thing. And last time, lifting your feet up, heels are grounded, and slowly smooth out this motion all the way down, resting at the bottom. Good. Now we'll do some heel raises, working more into the calves, lifting your heels and lowering them. Again, you don't have to be on blocks for this, but I think it helps isolate what you're doing a little bit better. Unless you have long legs, then maybe blocks would be too high. And then just lifting and lowering. If you want to do, oh man, yeah, I think I need to do the somatic. For some reason my left shin and now my calf is pretty shaky today. And that's probably because I played racquetball the other day and it kind of hurt the bottom of my foot. So maybe that's why it's a little shaky up here. So just kind of clued into that. But go ahead and you can keep lifting and lowering, or if you want to follow me through the somatic movements, then very slowly lower your heels down. You can apply a little bit of light pressure on your knees. As you lower down, if you're on the blocks, then your heels can go past that horizontal position, and then rest. And we'll do that 2 more times. Lifting your heels, 3 seconds, and then slowly resisting as you lower, trying to smooth it out. And breathing, just allowing yourself to breathe normally as you do this. Inhale, last time, lifting your heels up and gently lowering down as slow and smooth as possible. Retraining the brain how to move in the most ideal way through these muscles, and relaxing at the bottom. Good. Okay, so go ahead, and if you do have blocks, then just bring 1 block to this middle setting for 1 foot. So 1 foot will be planted on it, and moving the other block out of the way. And I want, if you can, bring the other foot out to the side, whatever level of comfort for you. So for me, I like having it out a little bit farther. And we're going to do a bit of a flow here. So make sure that foot feels stable. You could also place it on the lowest setting too. So either one, just where you feel comfortable. And you're going to reach your arms up, lifting up, reaching tall through the sides of your body. And then as you bring your arms down, you're going to either place your hands on your knee if it's stable, or down here on your chair as you lean forward with a flat back. And you're going to feel a bit of compression in your hip flexors. So leaning forward and then lifting up, bringing your arms up again. And then arms out to the sides. And then bring that hand or forearm over to the leg that is extended out to the side for a side body stretch. Breathing into your side. Inhale, lifting arms up. So we're going to do that again. Sweeping your arms down either to your knee or thigh or to the chair as you lean forward, feeling compression on your hip flexors. And then rising back up, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms up to the sides. And then bring your forearm or hand down to your knee, out to the side. So we're still doing the same side. Leaning way over. And inhaling back to center. And reaching or resting your arms down. So we'll do it one more time. So sweeping your arms up, reaching tall. Exhale, hands down to your knee or to the chair as you lean forward with a flat back. Inhale up, reaching your arms up. And then out to the sides. And of course, you can always use your arms, or bend your arms at your elbows. And then come over to that side, reaching up, that side body stretch. Good. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. So maybe move your block over a little bit for your other foot. Bring that knee out to the side. It could still actually be in front, but allowing it to come out to the side allows you to stretch more to the side. So make sure that foot on the block feels stable. Inhale, lifting your arms up. Reaching, feel a stretch through your rib cage. And then bringing your hands down to your knee or to your chair as you lean forward. Feeling a compression. Inhale, lifting up. Reach your arms up. And then out to the sides. Bring your hand or forearm to your thigh. Lifting your other arm up and over. Breathe into your side. Inhale, arms up. And then sweep your hands down to your knee or to the chair, leaning forward. Inhale up. Exhale, arms out. Bring your forearm to your thigh, reaching up and over. Arms out to the sides. Inhale up. This is our last time through it. Hands come down to the chair, leaning forward. Inhale, reaching up. Arms out to the sides. And one more side stretch. Nice. Finishing your arms up and then letting them float down. Good. And then you can move the block. Actually, let's keep, since we're using the blocks right now, go ahead and keep your block in front of you. And if you can, we did this last week, so if you can, have the block up at the highest level. And we're using this for functional movement, as if we're picking something up off of the ground. And often we're in a standing position when we want to pick something up off the ground, but know that you can bring in a chair if it's something, especially you're not sure about your back, and bringing your body down a little bit to a safer position so that you can pick it up is an option. Also, if you were standing and you didn't have the chair there, so I'm just going to stand up. Thinking about getting your feet out wide, having your hands on your thighs as you feel balanced to pick something up. So, but here, seated with our legs open, we're going to just gently lean forward and reach. See if you can reach both hands down. And I'm pressing most of my weight into my feet. So I'm not dumping my weight, my body on this object, but I'm really grounded through my feet. And then you can go ahead and pick it up and press it up as high as it feels comfortable. Bring it back down, and we're going to place it back down on the ground. And then just reach your arms out wide, open up. And we'll do this again. So leaning forward, pressing through your feet. Your hips are back in your chair, and you can lift it up, reaching way up high, bringing it back down to the ground as you lean forward. Watch yourself doing it. So you're very mindful, lifting up, reaching open wide. You could also do cactus. And then leaning forward with a flat back. Pressing my weight into my feet as I lift it up, reaching up, and then bring it back down. Nice. Good. And then just lifting out, opening your arms or into cactus. Taking a deep breath. Good. So I feel a lot, I feel like I did a lot in my hips and my glutes as I did that, because I was really staying nice and strong in these big muscles to help support me. So I'm just going to move my block out of the way for now. Might do a little bit of more work with that a little bit later. So now we're going to do another flow. So it's reaching your arms up. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open to cactus and turn toward the right or the left, either way. You know, sometimes it looks mirrored on here or not mirrored. So we're kind of taking a little twist here with our arms in cactus. Then inhale, reaching your arms up to center, and then opening up with your arms in cactus to the other side. So you may only go a couple of inches, and that's fine. Inhale, arms up. Bring your hands through heart center, and then down to your knees. Make sure you're seated nice and strong in the middle of your chair. And pin your elbows, if possible, next to your body. You're going to press into your thighs, as long as there's no pain there, and leaning forward using mostly your arm muscles to press yourself back up. So let's try that a couple more times. So we're leaning forward, using your arm strength the most, keeping your back pretty flat, and then pressing up out of it. So I'd rather you have your elbows beside your rib cage than splaying out, because if you do it out here, then there's not as much support going on in both your elbows and in your shoulders. So keeping them against you with your elbows bent backward toward your body is giving you a little bit more support as you lean forward, and then slowly as you're doing a push-up, kind of like you're doing a push-up here, pressing up out of it. Let's do it 2 more times. So leaning forward, using those arm muscles mostly. Maybe even hold it for a moment. And I'm feeling it in my triceps as I do that, and then leaning up. Good. Go ahead, shake your arms out. And let's go ahead and take some wrist circles here. I was feeling that in my wrist a little bit. So you can circle around both directions, or maybe do those figure eights. And if you like changing up direction in your figure eights, then go ahead and do that, or try it. Maybe do one hand and then the other, or both. And let's go ahead and do those little push-ups again. So hands on your thighs, elbows against your body, leaning your heart forward, using your arm muscles. Maybe pausing and then rising back up. We'll do it 2 more times. So you can make this harder by holding it here longer. Rising back up. And 1 more time. Good. Nice. Sweep your arms up. Bring your hands to heart center. Clasp your fingers, clasp your hands. And then as long as it feels good, press your hands down toward the floor. Feeling a stretch through your hands and your forearms. And then bring your hands up again, and then press them forward. Bringing them back in. And then change up the cross of your hands. So put your other thumb and index finger on top. We'll do the same thing, so pressing your hands down toward the floor. Bringing them back in, pressing them forward. Nice. Bring them back in and release. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, opening up to one side. Bring your hand to the opposite knee, and your other hand can hang on the chair, back of the chair behind you or beside you. Turn just your head to look as far back as you can, reaching your eyes even further. And then turn just your head to look forward as far as you can without pain, and keep your eyes going. Turn your head to look back again. And then just look off to the side as you slowly release out of this twist. Bring your hands to your knees, and you could rock your knees side to side, which helps relieve some of the tension held from that twist. And then find a balanced seat again. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, opening up to the other side. Hand to your opposite knee. Your back arm is across the back of your chair or just down by your side. Slowly turn your head to look back as far as you can, moving your eyes even farther. Breathing. Slowly move your head forward, looking as far as you can to the other side. Keep moving your eyes. And then look back again. Look off to the side. Slowly release the twist, coming back to center, and windshield wiper your knees side to side again. Good. Reach one hand down toward the ground. See how that's feeling in your side body, feeling a compression. You might even feel like you're tightening your muscles on that side. And then come back up, plant your hand on your knee, reach the other hand down. Compressing on that side. Coming back up. Let's do it a couple more times on each side. So this is strengthening those side body muscles. Reaching down. Try to feel those muscles tightening, engaging, and then come back up. Reach down to the other side. Coming back up. One more time each side. Reaching down to the first side. And back up. And last one. Good. Nice. We'll move through some cat and cow movement. So rounding your spine into cat, bringing your chin to your chest. Stay right here for a moment as long as it feels okay for you. Breathe into your lower back. And then see if you could just move your head to look up. So lifting your head up. And then look down again. And now move your whole spine coming into cow pose. So lifting your chest, tilting your pelvis forward, pulling your shoulders back. Chin is lifted. Now just move your head, so you're bringing your chin down. Feeling a stretch in the back of your neck, and then lift your chin back up. Nice, let's go back into cat position, rounding your spine, chin to chest. Lift only your head up. And then bring it down. Inhale to cow, lifting your chest forward, shoulders back, chin up. And then lower your chin down. And lift it back up. Good. Go ahead and take a few of your own cat and cow positions, working into it at your pace, maybe a little bit quicker. You could also move into one hip and toward the opposite knee. You could also move in a spiral motion, so kind of moving in a circle through your torso, through your hips. Taking any movements here that feel good to you, and taking some time with it. Exploring and noticing if you find a spot that feels stiff or tight or even a little bit of pain, then stop wherever that is. So I feel some right about here, some tightness in my left hip. And stop there and just take the tiniest little movements in that spot. So little tiny circles. If you feel like the sensation shifts, you can chase it to wherever it goes to. But notice if you can kind of massage that spot from the inside out. Might even want to close your eyes, take some little tiny figure 8 movements there. Being really gentle. So this is not a work out, it's a work in. Notice if you can get that spot to release a little bit. Good. This is something you can do anywhere if you like it. I've noticed that it's helped me release some tense spots in my body several times. So we'll do a little bit more work through the hips now. Picking one leg up and placing it down, picking the other leg up, placing it down, doing that a few more times. If you feel ready for just doing it without assistance from your hand, feel free to do that. Or just guiding it. I'm leaning forward and rocking back as I do this. And then we'll do some circles on one side, so circling into your hip, starting with smaller circles, but then start to explore every angle of motion here, and noticing maybe how far out you can go. There might be a spot you want to explore a little bit more. I want to see how this is feeling for me way out here. And you can circle the other direction. Good. Getting into those hip flexors, and then maybe a little zigzag. And place your foot down. So staying on that same side, extend that leg out and see how your knee is feeling, and then either place your foot down, or if you can, kind of bring your heel up underneath you. And be careful of getting a cramp in your hamstrings when you do this. So maybe starting out really lightly, if you are bringing your heel underneath, and exploring, making sure that you're not going to cramp up. If you do, then you just kick your leg forward, maybe even reach towards your toes to stretch out that cramp. I know Tim was asking for some hamstring work. You could also, Tim, as you're doing this, everybody, place your hands under your hamstring so that you're getting a little bit more feedback. And you can kind of even massage under there as you're doing this motion. Or if it's your quads that are bugging you, doing these motions with some feedback from your hands, either pressure or massage, is sometimes really helpful. So we'll move over to the other leg and taking some smaller circles first, making them bigger, seeing how far you can go in each direction. And exploring, if you find a spot you want to work out a little bit more, or work in a little bit more, and then go the other direction. Breathing and rocking your knees side to side, maybe at different angles, up higher, down lower. And setting your foot down. Take a breath. It's a lot of work. And then start to kick your foot forward, and either placing it down on the floor or pulling your heel back. Again, making this a smaller movement at first and working deeper into it if that's what your body is wanting. Reaching it out, bringing it back in. Again, maybe having your hands under your hamstrings for a little massage, or on your quads, or even in your hips. Massage your hips as you're doing this. And last one. Good. Woo, that feels good. All right, so let's go up to shoulders before we start into some of our bigger movements and standing. So we'll do we've done some neck work, turning your head side to side. Feel free to do a little bit more if that's what your neck is craving. Otherwise, we'll do the somatic shoulder shrugs, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, holding it for 3 seconds, slowly lowering down, slow and smoothly as possible, taking your time, not rushing through it. Relax fully at the bottom. Take a breath and bring them back up. Slowly lowering them down. So now we got down dog going. Good girl, Dee Dee. Good girl. Smoothing them out and lowering all the way down. Take a breath at the bottom. And we'll go one more time. Shoulders up. Lowering. If you find a spot that feels extra shaky, then when you get there, just go back up another inch and go back through that shaky spot. See if you can smooth it out a little bit more. Releasing all tension at the bottom. Take a breath. Good. Now bring your chin towards your chest and allow yourself to slouch a little bit, like as if you were looking at your phone. You're just in this slouched position. And we're going to do the same thing with our shoulders in this position. So bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, but you're kind of in this rounded, hunched position. And then slowly let your shoulders down. Smoothing it out. I always notice the last couple of inches are my shakiest spot. And let's just do that one more time. So shoulders up towards your ears. Smoothing it out. If there's a spot, find that shakiest spot. When you hit it, go back up an inch or two and go back down through it. Be intentional and mindful, releasing all tension at the bottom. And when you're done, you can shake your arms out, just do some little shoulder rolls, whatever feels good. Nice. So let's take some bigger full body movements, and go ahead and grab your block if you have that, or some other object, and let's use the block today. So first, stretching it out and just bringing it into one hand as you open your arms wide, and then bring it back to center, switch hands, and open up to the other side. So this is what we'll be doing with our arms. So you could do it up higher at an angle as you bring it together, and then up nice and wide. Pick whatever angle is good for you. Remember, you could always do elbows. So we're going to keep this motion going with your hands, and then we're going to add in. So as you bring your hands back, or up and back, you're going to bring one foot back. And then bring your hands forward, and then, sorry, I just have to click this off because there's a sign on there. So yeah, hands up and back, and then the other foot back, and then reach that foot forward. So, you know, let's do this with both feet. So as you're reaching up and back, your feet are coming back. This is a lot of things to do. So, and then extend your feet as you bring your block together, and then reaching it into the other hand, feet come back, everything comes forward. Everything reaches back and forward. Nice. You can do this a little bit faster or slower. Nice. A couple more times. You could always bring your feet to the ground when you get here, and then kick them out. Feet to the ground. Good. And we'll finish up right here. Go ahead and place your block down. If you have a bolster or a pillow nearby, we're going to do a couple forward folds. So bring that in. And always make sure with forward folds that you're honoring your low back especially, or any other parts of your back that may speak to you during this time. And so first we're going to take a forward fold just with our feet planted, and really get that bolster up into your belly, up towards your hip creases, and allow your forearms to rest. You can stay right here. You can lower down with a flat back, keeping your head lifted. And if it feels good, maybe round your back. I like to keep my arms underneath me for support. But if you're really craving a deep forward fold and that's good for you, you can always let your arms hang down. I'm going to keep my arms under me. Taking a few breaths into your low back and your hips. On an inhale, start to rise up. And this time, we'll try a figure 4 forward fold. So getting your ankle up over your knee. It's really great to keep that mobility. You could take some ankle circles while you're here. You could massage your feet. You can stay right here because this can be a deep stretch just by bringing your leg up. If you would like to fold forward, bringing your pillow or bolster up and maybe leaning a little bit into this, maybe a lot if that's what you're wanting, and just honoring your body where it's at. Miss Ray probably sees one of her, oh no, it's a mailman. So, here, Miss Ray. She's my guard dog. Breathing into your hip. Slowly rising up. And then we'll go over to the other side. Again, maybe some ankle circles, pointing and flexing. And option to stay here or lean forward a little bit, supporting yourself with your arms. In a few minutes, when we go into relaxation, I am going to screen share a video that I did when I was in Chile a few weeks ago. So it is a lake, and I may say this in the video, but it's a lake in Chile at the base of a volcano. So it had all volcanic rock around it. It was really beautiful, lots of mountains. Just take another breath or two here. Inhaling as you rise up, planting your foot on the ground. We'll take a few movements to get to standing, and the other option is to get to the floor, and we're just going to briefly practice a plank pose. So think about where you want to do your plank pose, and you'll be making your way there, but eventually to the ground or seated for our relaxation time. So rocking forward and back, making sure your feet are planted and that you're not lightheaded or anything, and then pressing your hands into your knees. Think about how we talked about elbows back toward your body as you press yourself up. See how that might feel for you as you do this, instead of hands out where they're kind of floppy. Having them back here gives you more support. So eventually finding standing, rising up, notice your blood pressure. You could reach your arms out and up. I think I've mentioned this probably many times, but I get lightheaded, so I have to be careful when I stand up myself. You could do a little shifting side to side, and then slowly making your way to your version of plank. So that could be hands on the back of your chair, could be on the seat of your chair, which is what I'm going to do. And whenever you get there, though, first explore into your hands, your wrists, make sure they're feeling good. Remember, you can always work on your tenting your fingers up as an option, or work on your fists or on forearms, whatever platform you're on. Those are different options for your hands. But first, stretching out the back of one leg, and then stretching out the back of the other leg. And then getting nice and supported for your plank position. So your feet can be right underneath you. This is building strength right here. The farther out your feet go, or you might be on your knees, wherever you are. The farther out your feet go, the more strength is required in your arms. But be assured that any pressure on your hands, arms is beneficial, and it's building strength. So breathing into this and holding it as long as is right for you today. So I'm going to come out of it right now. Feel free to stay longer. And thank you so much for joining.